Your hands are on the wheel. Your heart is pounding. The officer is walking toward your window. And right now, in the next 60 seconds, you are about to make one of 7 mistakes that seniors make every single day during traffic stops. Mistakes that have led to handcuffs, arrests, and criminal records for people who did absolutely nothing wrong to begin with. Most seniors have no idea these mistakes exist. And mistake number 5? It shocks almost everyone who hears it. So stay with me, because by the time this video is done, you will know exactly what to say, what not to say, and what to never, ever do when those red and blue lights appear behind you. But before we dive in, if you are new to this channel, hit that subscribe button right now, because we publish videos every single week breaking down your legal rights in plain English. No jargon, no confusion, just real, usable knowledge that could protect you when it matters most. Alright, let us get into it. Mistake number 1. Volunteering information the officer did not ask for. This is the single most common mistake seniors make, and it comes from a good place. Older adults are generally polite, trusting, and raised in a time when cooperating with authority meant talking openly. But here is what has changed. The law has not changed in your favor. Officers are trained in something called conversational elicitation. Every word you say is being evaluated. The moment you say something like, "I was just rushing home because my medication is running low," or "I only had 1 drink at dinner," you have handed the officer information he never asked for and never had to have. You are legally required to hand over your license, registration, and proof of insurance. That is it. You are not required to explain where you are going, where you have been, what you were doing, or why you were driving the way you were. Keep it simple. Keep it quiet. Let the officer lead the conversation and answer only what is legally required. Mistake number 2. Assuming a polite attitude will earn you a warning. Respect and kindness go a long way in life. But inside a traffic stop, being friendly is not the same as being protected. Officers are legally allowed to issue a citation regardless of how pleasant the interaction is. More importantly, officers are legally permitted to use deception during stops. They can say, "Just tell me the truth and I will let you go," and that is simply not a promise the law requires them to keep. Seniors, in particular, tend to trust authority figures and interpret friendliness as a sign of safety. But the reality is that the more you talk, the more you give an officer to work with. Be respectful, absolutely. But do not let politeness trick you into thinking you need to perform, explain yourself, or earn your way out of the stop. Mistake number 3. Refusing to sign the traffic ticket. This one has put seniors in handcuffs more times than I can count, and it stems from a myth that has been circulating for years. People believe that signing a ticket means you are admitting guilt. It does not. Signing a traffic ticket is simply an acknowledgement that you received the document. It is not a guilty plea. It does not mean you agree with the citation. It means you are confirming you got it. In states like Texas, Georgia, Utah, Oklahoma, and several others, refusing to sign a ticket gives the officer immediate legal grounds to place you under arrest right there on the side of the road. The ticket itself can be challenged in court. An arrest cannot be erased from your record as easily. Sign it. Stay calm. Fight it later in the proper setting, which is a courtroom, not a roadside. Mistake number 4. Consenting to a vehicle search when asked. When an officer says, "Do you mind if I take a look in your vehicle?" that sounds like a simple, casual question. It is not. The moment you say yes, you have waived your Fourth Amendment right against unreasonable searches. Anything the officer finds after that, even something that was not yours, even something left behind by a passenger, can be used against you. You have an absolute legal right to say no. You can look the officer calmly in the eye and say, "Officer, I do not consent to a search of my vehicle. That is not rude. That is not suspicious. That is your constitutional right. And here is what many seniors do not know. If the officer searches anyway without your consent and without probable cause, anything they find may be inadmissible in court. Your refusal does not guarantee a smooth interaction, but it protects your rights in ways that saying yes never can. Mistake number 5. Not knowing you can record the interaction. This is the one that surprises almost everyone. In most states across the country, you have a legal right to record your interaction with law enforcement during a traffic stop, as long as you are not interfering with the officer doing their job. Pull out your phone, prop it up on the dashboard, let it run. Do not point it aggressively in the officer's face, but let it record. Why does this matter? Because recordings have been the difference between a dismissed case and a conviction. They document exactly what was said, what was requested, and how the encounter unfolded. Officers who know they are being recorded are statistically more likely to follow procedure. And if things go wrong, that footage is your most powerful piece of evidence. Seniors are often told by officers to put the phone away. Unless the officer can articulate a legal reason, you are not required to comply. Know your right. Use it. Mistake number 6. Exiting the vehicle without being asked. This is a mistake that can escalate a routine traffic stop into a dangerous situation within seconds. If an officer has pulled you over, you are expected to remain in your vehicle unless the officer specifically tells you to step out. Getting out of the car on your own, even to seem cooperative, can be interpreted as a threat. It can trigger a defensive response that you absolutely do not want. Seniors sometimes exit the vehicle because they are hard of hearing, because they feel more comfortable talking face to face, or because they want to show they have nothing to hide. None of those reasons change how it looks to the officer. Stay in your vehicle. Keep your hands visible on the steering wheel. Wait for instruction. That simple choice protects you more than almost anything else on this list. Mistake number 7. Believing out-of-state tickets will disappear on their own. This is a myth that has quietly destroyed driving records for thousands of seniors who travel between states. If you receive a traffic ticket in another state and decide to ignore it because you think it will not follow you home, you are taking a risk with serious consequences. 46 states are part of an agreement called the Driver's License Compact, which means those states share traffic violation data with one another. Ignore a ticket from Florida if you live in Ohio, and Ohio's DMV will be notified. You could face a suspended license, a failure to appear charge, or even a warrant, all from something you thought had been left behind. And that warrant goes into a national database. The next time you are pulled over anywhere in the country, that officer will see it. Traffic violations travel with you. Handle every ticket, no matter where it happens. Now here is the piece that ties everything together. What do you actually do if you get pulled over? First, pull over safely and promptly. Turn on your hazard lights, find a well-lit area if possible, and stop your vehicle. Second, keep your hands visible. Place them on the steering wheel, and do not reach for anything until the officer asks. Third, provide only what is legally required: your license, registration, and insurance. Fourth, answer questions minimally. You may say that you are choosing to remain silent. That is a legal right and not an act of disrespect. Fifth, if asked to consent to a search, decline politely but firmly. Sixth, if you are issued a ticket, sign it. Seventh, once the stop is over, write down everything you remember while it is fresh: the officer's name, the time, the location, exactly what was said. That information is the beginning of your defense if you choose to fight it. If this video helped you understand your rights and gave you real tools to protect yourself during a traffic stop, then do one thing right now: hit that subscribe button. We release new videos every single week covering your legal rights in situations that directly affect your life. Traffic stops, police encounters, your rights in public spaces, what to say, what not to say, knowledge that could make the difference between going home at night and not. Subscribe to this channel so you never miss a video that could protect you, your family, or someone you love when it matters most.